The Lakers are plotting something huge as reports and rumors are really starting to pick up surrounding the Lakers in the trade market, specifically surrounding two key players. We're going to break down these new reports and discuss what it means going forward, as well as a bunch of other updates ahead of the big game tonight against the Suns. But before we get into it all, folks, you guys have been absolute beasts with the support. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying the daily Lakers content. Of course, the Lakers are now 15-4. They are absolutely steamrolling every single opposition, and hopefully they can keep it up. But folks, we're going to be diving into some trade talks today because there are a ton of reports flying around, some rumors flying around. It seems the Lakers are plotting something huge. But let's start with an article that dropped recently. So trade proposal sees the Lakers add sharpshooter with championship pedigree. And I'm going to dive into this trade, and I'm very curious. One of the main reasons I'm going to discuss this one is because I'm curious to see what you guys think about it, because it is going to be for a familiar face. But let's start with some context here. The Lakers have won 7 straight games after they beat the Pelicans in the final day of November. I mean, the Lakers are absolutely rolling right now, right? LeBron's been out for most of the year. Like I've been mentioning in every video, there are still some holes in the roster, and a recent trade proposal would add a sharpshooter to the mix and also give them some defensive help to a degree, and at least in theory. And let's dive into the full trade. Now, this one is wild. It is a 3-team deal that ultimately has LaMelo Ball, crazy enough, going to the Mavericks. And we're going to be focusing in on, of course, the Lakers portion of it, because at this juncture, at least, that's going to be the focus. So it's the Mavericks getting LaMelo Ball from the Hornets, the Lakers getting Klay Thompson and Daniel Gafford. So Daniel Gafford, a piece that I think, again, we've covered him on the channel a ton. He's been in rumors dating back to last year. And then Klay Thompson, who's on an iffy contract, hasn't been playing great this year, but we know the familiarity he has with LeBron James. By all accounts, they're close friends, or at least somewhat good friends. It would be interesting. And then the Hornets receive Max Christie, Rui Hachimura, Dalton, Knecht, Gabe Vincent, and a first-round pick, the Lakers 2029. And we'll, for all intents and purposes, I like to go with the Lakers 2031 first-round pick. But either way, right? So it's a first-round pick and then salary filler for Daniel Gafford and Klay Thompson. I'm going to be talking about the 2031 first-round pick, unprotected, for the sake of this video. So I'm not going to dive into whether it makes sense with the Hornets. It's probably a bit of a light package for them to give up LaMelo Ball. But regardless, right? The Lakers are getting Klay Thompson and Daniel Gafford for essentially Rui Hachimura and a first-round pick, plus, of course, salary filler in Gabe Vincent and Dalton Knecht, who isn't really salary filler, but is a young piece. This is a very interesting trade, no matter what way you look at it, because you can see here, the Lakers are trading 2 expiring contracts in Hachimura and Vincent, but it's not fair to call Rui Hachimura an expiring contract, right? Because, I mean, he is, so it is fair to say it, but he's a crucial part of this team. And this team currently, like I mentioned, is 15-4, and Rob Pelinka's done a good job in free agency and with roster construction. I'm not entirely sold on the Lakers wanting to get rid of Rui Hachimura, and that's one of the sticking points for me in this trade. They've been playing such good basketball, and Rui's made a fantastic leap forward this year in efficiency, but even just being a perfect fit around, alongside Luka Doncic, I'm not sure they'd be willing to give up Rui and then replace him with Klay, but also getting Daniel Gafford back. Now, I do agree that getting a backup center could be good, but you're getting Klay Thompson, you're getting, Daniel Gafford, neither of which fill their most, needed hole to fill, which is a defensive 3-and-D wing. Now, Thompson does get them a shooter off the bench. He's a capable defender and would help them with scoring, but I'm just not entirely sure that this is something that the Lakers are going to want to do. Now, of course, we know the Lakers at this juncture do want to make a move at the deadline. They're going to make a huge trade, and getting Daniel Gafford would absolutely help, right? And I think that at this point in time, it seems they're plotting something huge. Now, whether it's something like this, whether it's something like, a more sensible trade, which is, Trey Murphy or Herb Jones, this package probably doesn't get you Trey Murphy necessarily, though. Maybe it does, right? Rui Hachimura on a first-round pick. Of course, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, those guys, those are the players I think the Lakers should target more. But let's dive into the stats. Now, Klay Thompson, since coming over to the Dallas, hasn't been great, right? This year, he's averaging 10 points a game, 36% from the field, only 34% from 3. Like, he is an objective downgrade, a big downgrade over Rui Hachimura. So, would the Lakers want to give up their first-round pick and, Rui plus for, I guess plus, meaning salary filler, for a downgrade in Klay, but an unequivocal upgrade in Daniel Gafford? And of course, I don't want to act like Daniel Gafford isn't the biggest piece here. This year, 9 points a game, 7 rebounds, essentially. Like, he's a very solid defender as well. He's someone that you could either start, they probably wouldn't with the way that Ayton's been playing, but, play off the bench and have a true backup big. But does it make sense? Like, is this the trade that they want to go all in for and give up their first-round pick? We know Rob Pelinka has almost hoarded his first-round pick the past year since they acquired Luka, because they want to wait for the perfect trade, which was initially rumored to be Nick Claxton. Ultimately, that fell through. I mean, Mark Williams, of course, which in hindsight now may have been the deal to go with, but regardless on that, we'll put that aside for a minute. They saved it in the offseason, right? They, of course, decided to wait for Marcus Smart and DeAndre Ayton to become available by free agency, via buyout, waivers, whatever it was. They signed them. Fantastic moves. They kept their pieces for a big trade. Is this the trade they want to go for? Me personally, I don't love the move. Now, would it be something big? Like, this is a big trade, and I do ultimately think that, they're going to be active in the market for a guy like Daniel Gafford. I don't love the Klay Thompson experience, though, especially at this point in his career, right? He's 35 years old. He hasn't been good for a couple of years. Yes, he's a good three-point shooter, even though he hasn't been great this year. He's poor defensively at this point in his career. Keep Hachimura. He's a better shooter. He has chemistry with Luka Doncic. And, of course, he has, familiarity in the Lakers system under JJ Redick, which is something that I have no doubt Klay Thompson can pick it up quickly. I just don't want to see Klay Thompson necessarily, mess things up. Because at this point, the Lakers are looking like a very, very good team, right? You can see here the best backcourt in the NBA since Steph and Klay. And of course, Luka and Reaves have been absolutely dominant together. And you can't underestimate the value that Hachimura has brought to this team, whether that be starting, whether that be playing with the bench unit. He has been elite, an elite shooter, and just elite overall for his role, right? Not an elite player, but an elite role player this year. And I don't think giving up on Rui this early would make a lot of sense, because you look at the scoring leaders from the game yesterday against Pelicans, or whenever it was, a couple days ago. Doncic, Reaves, Ayton, Rui, Laravia. All those guys look fantastic. And Luka, 32. Reaves, 32. That's, of course, the duo. No LeBron James here. He's still dealing with his injury. Ayton giving you 22. I was on the Ayton train before they even traded for him, right? Or before they even signed him. I was mentioning last year, I believe it was after the deadline or whenever it was, talking about how the Lakers should go out and get DeAndre Ayton, because with a actual structure, it would make a lot of sense for them to bring in a guy who's struggled with a lot of teams. His work ethic was put in question. You put him with JJ Redick, and now look, he's having a fantastic year. Rui Hachimura, 12 points, good year. Jake Laravia, he's doing his thing off of the bench, and the bench does still need some help, right? No matter what way you look at it. But I don't think this trade fixes a ton, though I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers do try for something big. I just don't think messing with Rui Hachimura is going to be the play. Now, if you have to give up Rui Hachimura to get a guy like Herb Jones, is that something you do? Let me know down below in the comments, because that would fill a clear need. Thompson doesn't fill a clear need. Rui is better at three-point shooting, better defensively, even though neither of them are good. And you're paying essentially a first and Rui Hachimura to get Daniel Gafford, which isn't a huge hole for this team at this point, right? You have Jackson Hayes off the bench, who's been serviceable. It's a weird one for me. I don't think it makes a lot of sense, but I'm curious to see what you guys think about it. And they're also giving up Dalton Knecht in this, who doesn't have a ton of value at this point, but again, is still a young piece. So let me know down below what your thoughts are. Tons of things are happening. The Lakers are rolling. Hopefully they can take care of business tonight against the Suns. We'll keep you up to date every step of the way. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. And would you do this trade? Let me know down below. See you later.